The Buddhism class I took last semester, I wanted that to be a lot more of a part of my life than it is.
Yeah, like a spirituality, religion type concept.
Like have a community. I really want that in my life.
Maybe some girlfriends or something that...
Are you tired of seeing families where adult children are trapped under their parents' control, unable to live their own lives? This story reveals exactly how one mother's toxic grip ruins her daughter's independence. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. The audacity of Robyn in this scene is astonishing, even for her, especially considering the low bar she set for herself in the Brown family. She acts like it's inappropriate to use church as a dating service, yet she sits in a McMansion because she established her presence at church, just like her mother advised. Robyn even revealed that her adult daughters don't have any friends. They seem like hostages of Kody's family cult. At first, the mention of KFC made me think of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'd rather be a hostage to that than the family situation. The daughters appear isolated. I was also thinking about the strange food choices in their household. Some of the meals look unappetizing compared to regular comfort food like KFC or biscuits. Robyn seems extremely controlling. It wouldn't surprise me if she enforces strict curfews and closely tracks the daughters' whereabouts, possibly having Kody install tracking apps after years of resisting schedules. I wonder if she even allowed them to get driver's licenses, as that would give them too much freedom. Actually, they do have licenses and cars, so they have some mobility. This reminds me of a situation where a mother was very manipulative with her adult children, controlling their jobs and relationships, and even sabotaging their independence. Such behavior can cause long-term damage and prevent children from forming healthy adult lives. It seems likely that Robyn's daughters are experiencing something similar, with emotional manipulation and infantilization. There's also evidence suggesting the daughters' social lives are restricted. For example, there's video evidence of them attending a party during coronavirus, which the family tried to suppress. Robyn carefully controls the narrative about her daughters' dating lives, often avoiding direct language. The daughters adhere to traditional values publicly, though privately they may be exploring other spiritual paths, such as Buddhism classes. Robyn seems to treat her daughters more like possessions than independent adults. She uses guilt and emotional manipulation to keep them under control, making it difficult for them to have real friendships or romantic relationships. The daughters appear anxious and emotionally stunted, with panic attacks and extreme stress in social situations. Despite being adults in college, the daughters feel unable to express normal desires, like attending a different church or dating, without their mother's approval. Robyn's behavior keeps them dependent and trapped. The family even bought a large property with spaces designed for adult children to live near, but not truly independent. Robyn's poor listening skills and constant need for control suggest enmeshment and emotional abuse. Her daughters are likely struggling to develop a sense of self outside of her influence. This has significant mental health consequences, including anxiety and emotional trauma. The daughters seem to want to break free but face enormous obstacles. The whole dynamic appears stifling and unhealthy, with the daughters unable to explore their identities or relationships normally. There's a strong impression that the family's religious background and cult-like control heavily influence these dynamics. The daughters are caught between loyalty to family and their own growth, which Robyn resists. Overall, this scene highlights the toxic control Robyn exerts over her adult daughters, severely limiting their independence and emotional well-being. It's a disturbing example of how manipulation and control can persist into adulthood, causing long-lasting harm. Most people think having a big family home means harmony, but in this case, it's a recipe for constant conflict. Here's why living under one roof nearly destroyed their family bonds. In the Lehigh house during season 16, Janelle brought up that Meri did not want others to cross through her house to access other family members. Janelle and Christine's concerns about privacy appear inconsistent. Christine did not want a single large house because of privacy concerns, specifically not wanting anyone to see her with Kody. However, this conflicts with the frequent passage of two women with many children through Meri's house, which disrupted Meri's privacy. Meri would have to be constantly aware of people walking through her living space, effectively turning her home into a public corridor. An alternative solution could have been to create an enclosed walkway or add a door connecting Janelle's and Christine's homes to allow private access without crossing Meri's house. This would have maintained everyone's privacy and safety, especially in winter. The family's limited financial resources might have made renovations difficult, but the arrangement imposed significant disruption on Meri's household. Meri's request to not have constant foot traffic through her living room was reasonable. The children of Janelle and Christine were noisy and often disruptive, making it challenging for Meri to have peace and privacy. Furthermore, Christine expressed discomfort at the Lehigh house because she felt unable to show affection to Kody outside her own bedroom. Maintenance of the shared property was uneven. Meri took responsibility for caring for her unit, while other units showed signs of neglect. Kody and Robyn's home, in particular, was poorly maintained. The living arrangements caused tensions and resentment among the family members. Meri's desire for privacy was reasonable in the context of the disruption caused by frequent foot traffic and children running through her home. The setup of the house created ongoing conflicts. Kody encouraged use of Meri's house as a passageway, telling Meri to express her discomfort directly, but then dismissed her concerns, which exacerbated tensions. Over time, perspectives and relationships evolved, but the underlying issue was a lack of empathy and respect for Meri's boundaries. The Lehigh house was a crowded and challenging environment for everyone involved, especially given the complex family dynamics of a polygamous household. Meri contributed significantly to the family, including caregiving for children and managing aspects of the household. Despite this, she faced criticism and resentment related to her demands for privacy and her role within the family. Parenting and household management were difficult under these conditions. Meri acted as a mother figure, but was not always accepted by the children of other wives. Kody's behavior fostered competition among his wives for attention and resources, complicating family interactions. Meri's insistence on boundaries and respect for her home was understandable in this context. The living arrangements at the Lehigh house highlighted inherent challenges in polygamous families, especially regarding privacy, shared spaces, and competing needs. Never underestimate just how paranoid a jealous husband can get, especially when he thinks church is a battlefield where his wife is the prize. Kody's ridiculous fears about Robyn going solo to church will blow your mind. Kody is seriously worried about Robyn going to church alone. She casually asked her girlfriends if she could attend with them, and later told Kody she wanted to go. He immediately asked when, then said he wanted to come along, because apparently, church is some kind of hunting ground, and Robyn can't be trusted alone. Why? Because she's a hot commodity for men looking for a wife. Let's be real, Kody actually believes his wife is some trophy that every man at church is vying for. Robyn is neither hot nor desirable in that way. And what kind of church is this where men are openly preying on other men's wives? That sounds like a scene from an extreme polygamous sect where wives can be reassigned like property. It's a patriarchal nightmare, and Kody's paranoia shows just how deeply he buys into it. He thinks the men at church are out to steal Robyn because she supposedly can't resist. Seriously? That's not just mistrust, it's outright disrespect. And Robyn doesn't seem offended at all. If anything, she looks a bit flattered. If my husband said he needed to follow me to church to keep other men away, I'd be ready to throw a punch. Maybe Kody knows more than we think. Perhaps he suspects Robyn isn't as loyal as he'd like. She's smart, sly, and enjoys keeping him guessing, playing into his insecurities to maintain control. She's a social climber who joined the family for status and fame. And Kody? He's starting to see through the facade. Imagine the irony if Robyn actually found another husband and jumped back into polygamy. Kody, jealous and sidelined, watching her with multiple husbands. Now that would be poetic justice. Here's the bigger picture. In their polygamous circles, church is the place to meet women. Kody acts like Robyn needs his protection, treating her like property rather than a partner. It's classic narcissistic control disguised as love. He assumes she has no agency and needs guarding. This whole scenario reeks of Kody's desperate need for validation. He invents jealous men and trophy wives to boost his ego, while Robyn plays along perfectly, manipulating his insecurities like a pro. Then there are the kids, Aurora and Brianna, raised to be dependent and subservient, always needing permission for the simplest decisions. Independence and resilience, not on the menu. Kody's paranoia isn't just about church, it's about control and clinging to a relationship slipping through his fingers. Considering how he disrupted multiple marriages, lost connection with his children, and still clings to this fantasy, it's clear he's desperate for relevance and control. In reality, there's no threat of Robyn being stolen by other men at church. She'll go where she pleases, and Kody just needs to accept that. The idea of Robyn as a church trophy is delusional, a reflection of Kody's fragile ego, not reality. What if I told you the perfect husband in this polygamous family is actually the biggest selfish, manipulative failure? Everyone thinks Kody's the romantic hero, but the truth is way darker, and it's about to blow up everything you thought you knew. Kody is absolutely terrified Robyn will ditch him. No surprises there. This season, he's hitting new levels of desperate and pathetic. The poor guy is basically radiating insecurity, and deep down, he's petrified she'll walk. Why wouldn't he be? No other wives to fall back on, no family units left, just Robyn, his all-in bet that suddenly feels way too high stakes. Romance? Kody's idea of it is reactive, awkward, and borderline creepy. Back when he was juggling 4 wives, his priority was looking like a stud to them, not actually paying attention to what any of them wanted or needed. Now, the tables have turned, and he's visibly threatened by David. Seriously, how many times has he dragged up the dirt on Christine's new boyfriend, now husband? He chased Robyn, not because he truly loves her, but to keep other men away. Bought her a ring that's basically a knockoff of Christine's. Claims Janelle was turned on by his 6-pack, which, let's be real, is more like a small beer keg. And don't get me started on his manic, peacock-like dance moves. Kody thinks he's this dreamy, romantic husband, but in reality, he's a selfish, lazy, narcissistic, manipulative, emotionally abusive Neanderthal who wouldn't know how to be a decent man if it hit him in the face. Oh, and the manly man thing. Please. Watching him flop dance at the wedding just makes you want to scream for poor Isabel. Couldn't he set aside his ego for a few weeks to support his kid through surgery? Nope. Ego first, empathy nowhere. That first picture from the wedding, chef's kiss, absolutely hilarious. Kody probably imagines himself as Kurt Russell in his head, but spoiler alert, he's no Kurt Russell, more like inert muscle, Ammon. Honestly, this guy is so self-absorbed and narcissistic it's exhausting. His biggest beef with his church, they told him to cut his hair, like that's the hill he chose to die on. He's convinced his curls are something special, and sure, they are, just not in the way he thinks. As for Robyn, don't believe the hype that she's about to leave. She's not starting over in her late 40s or 50s, slinging MLM products or getting a real job. Kody's just no longer hiding the fact that Robyn's always been his favorite, the one he doubled down on. Behind closed doors, we're seeing the real story unfold. Sure, Robyn probably threatens to leave him all the time, but she won't. She has nowhere else to go, and striking out solo? Not happening. Their relationship is a ride or die kind of deal, even if they can't stand each other. Her loyalty? According to Kody, it's her defining trait, and yet he locks her down because he's scared she'll find another man if she goes to church alone. Classic controlling move. Kody lies about everything, 1 minute praising her loyalty, the next admitting he can't trust her out of his sight. It's giving serious mistress vibes. Honestly, it would be gold television if Robyn told Kody she found a richer, more handsome guy at church, took half the mansion, and rode off into the sunset with her new beau. Divorce drama? That's a binge-worthy plot. My theory: Robyn doesn't outright threaten to leave, but plays the sad, lost dreams card endlessly. This isn't what I signed up for. My porch is gone, rinse and repeat. It's all designed to guilt-trip Kody and keep him anxious. But I don't buy that Kody's really scared. He's just trying to look like the devoted husband in a love story that's mostly a fairy tale to cover up the fact that everyone else left and is way happier. This whole thing is a public redemption arc for Robyn, staged so viewers like her more. Meanwhile, Kody's too narcissistic to realize how much it makes him look like the selfish, lazy man he is. The one who abandoned wives and kids, and then doubled down on a permanent frown who's the exact opposite of a trophy wife. The irony is rich. Robyn's only 7 years younger than Christine, but she acts like she's fresh-faced and youthful while rubbing it in the OG wives' faces. Meanwhile, she looks closer to 55, with that stiff, blocky posture and those hangdog eyes. Kody? He's not worried. His ego's too big to admit he's not the grand prize. Robyn knows he's a deadbeat who won't care for her kids, but she's sticking around because she's comfortable. Who else is going to cater to her lifestyle and ego? She's not about to adult alone. Some say a divorce might tempt her with half the assets and child support, but then she'd have to pay bills and shovel her own driveway. And let's be honest, she doesn't have the skills for that. Robyn's busy schedule mostly involves shopping and decorating. Whether it's mental health or just learned helplessness, she's not cut out for independence. Meanwhile, Kody's ego has always needed stroking. Young kids needing him made him feel important, but as they grew, he lost that boost. Once introspective and flexible, coronavirus midlife crisis hit him hard. Now, he's a narcissistic, emotionally immature mess. Watching Robyn's transformation from her skinny, worn-out early look to this stiff, almost plastic figure is sad and bizarre. And the wedding scene? Looks like production is setting them up for a vow renewal, because apparently nothing says romance like a third wedding to the same man. Yawn. Honestly, the whole Robyn threatening to leave angle is a showrunner's ploy to keep viewers hooked. She's not going anywhere unless the money dries up, and even then, only if some sucker with cash shows up. Kody's terrified, but it's ego, not genuine fear. 4 wives gone in 5 years has bruised his pride, and Robyn's got the power to take half his assets and hit him with child support. Meanwhile, he clings to the fantasy that he's this manly, romantic hero, a delusion that's sad to watch. So yeah, Kody's scared all right. Scared he'll lose the only woman left willing to put up with him. But let's be real, Robyn's not packing her bags anytime soon. The only thing she's good at is loyalty to the lifestyle Kody provides, and he's too wrapped up in stroking his ego to notice. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.